I've been quiet for a minute because I've been collecting as much information as possible over the past month just so I can be accurate. And it's finally time to unleash the facts.
No one ever dogged Oscar De La Hoya the way Floyd did. Every single press conference, he treated him like he was a...
He can't be a successful promoter if he's always wanting to be in the spotlight. His desire to be always noticed, always.
I've been silent for a while because over the past month, I've been gathering as much information as I can to be accurate. Now it's time to reveal that, sure, Sir Oscar De La Hoya, no one ever dogs. Floyd treated him as though he were a celebrity at every press conference, asking whether he could succeed as a promoter if he was constantly seeking attention and attention. During a live interview with Stephen A. Smith, Oscar De La Hoya attacked Floyd Mayweather, calling him a fake and a fraudster. In addition to criticizing Floyd's incessant boasting about his wealth and opulent lifestyle, De La Hoya chastised Mayweather for using...
You say you want to be a world champion. You say you want to take this sport serious. Then take it serious. What is this? This is not a popularity contest.
Boxing as a popularity contest rather than a test of genuine talent and heart. He urged Floyd to take boxing seriously rather than as a means of making money. De La Hoya said that Mayweather's fixation with celebrity and wealth is undermining the integrity of sports and deceiving new fighters, stressing that boxing is about legacy rather than bank accounts. You claim the desire to be a world champion and to be serious about this sport, but what exactly are you serious about? Why is this not a fight for popularity? Oscar De La Hoya acknowledged Floyd Mayweather's skill at controlling public opinion by adopting the bad guy persona and
it's like that rivalry, the villain and the good guy, you know. And Floyd, this is where Floyd is smart. He knows how to play that villain guy, you know.
And you're promoting the fight.
Yeah, and I'm promoting the fight.
Yeah.
And I'm promoting the fight.
Called him a master at portraying the antagonist in their battle. Oscar, on the other hand, was portrayed as the good guy who had to work double duty to promote the fight in order to preserve his reputation, while Floyd flourished in the negative spotlight. Oscar noted that Floyd was clever to use his strategy, but it also revealed a level...
How much money did that generate?
At the time, yeah, it was the record-setting pay-per-view. I think we generated something like close to, all in, like close to 400 million. Yeah, in one night, so...
of immaturity, where Floyd relied more on disrespect and trash-talking than on skill and integrity. It seems like there is a rivalry between the good man and the villain, and Floyd is the latter. Floyd is intelligent and skilled at playing evil, you know. Additionally, you are marketing the fight, and I am promoting the fight as well. Oscar De La Hoya noted that their bout brought in a record-breaking $400 million in one night from a pay-per-view event alone. This enormous financial success not only demonstrated the enormous attraction of their rivalry, but also the boxing industry's commercial side. For how much money did that generate? Well, at the time...
You didn't promote that fight with Mayweather. Would you have pulled out?
Probably. Yeah, probably. Because there was too much... Put the money aside. For me, it's about pride. For me, it was about, you know, man, I want to have a winning chance here.
It was a record-setting pay-per-view, and I believe we made almost $400 million in a single night. Oscar De La Hoya made it clear that, to him, boxing was always about pride and legacy, not money. He wanted to prove himself and cement his place in history, and he criticized Floyd Mayweather for being driven only by money. Oscar recognized Floyd's business acumen, but felt that Floyd's focus was more on making a profit than enhancing his legacy. To De La Hoya, the sport was about passion and honor, while Floyd's strategy seemed to be about maximizing earnings and promoting his brand above all else. If you hadn't advertised about with Mayweather, would you have withdrawn? Most likely, since there was too much set aside to cash for me. It's about pride for me. I want to have a chance at winning here. You know, Floyd in a recent statement, Mayweather compared his fight with Manny Pacquiao to...
And, you know, I guess, you know, his... Because, you know, he talks about his money a lot, so he... compared, like, I guess, his fight with Pacquiao to Anthony Joshua, and he was saying, like, you know, basically they didn't need 100,000 or 90,000 people to do X amount of dollars. You know, here, I'm going to let you listen to it. Here's what he had to say verbatim. Here's what Floyd said about Anthony Joshua.
Talk about that. I was in the Guinness Book of World Record for breaking all the records. You didn't tell them that?
Of course you have.
For generating, what, billions in the sport of boxing? That or having the fastest sellout crowd. But I mean, you know, those guys done, you know. And I was watching a fight when I was at my Miami house. I was at my Miami home. I was watching a fight with Klitschko and the guy
Anthony Joshua's fight, asserting that he needed the huge crowds or millions of viewers to generate massive revenue. He said, "We didn't have to have all those hundreds of thousands to do a $74 million gate." Mayweather's constant boasting about his wealth has been a source of contention, particularly when it comes to his remarks about other fighters like Anthony Joshua. Analysts contend that Floyd has made his fortune through boxing, but his constant attention to money takes away from his true legacy. Floyd's assertion that he is on another planet in terms of his success, in reference to the big crowds at Joshua's fights, simply highlights his preoccupation with being the best, not just in the ring, but in terms of accumulating cash. You know, I get...
And they said that this is electrifying, sort of like the Pacquiao and Mayweather. And I said, well, we didn't have to have all those hundreds of thousands to do a $74 million gate. So, and like I said before, but those guys put on a hell of a show. Like I said before, you know, I'm just on another planet. And you definitely know it. Because you've been around for years. And you see the same thing over and over and over again.
All right, so there you have it. Mayweather basically saying that, you know, he's on another planet and all this stuff, and that, you know, they didn't need 90,000 people and all this stuff. But, I mean, let's look at it like this. Jealousy, I noticed from Floyd, and it shouldn't be that way, because Floyd, you know, regardless of what I have to say about his career, I have my opinions on it. You know, he was a A-level fighter. Skills out, you know, had skills, was a really skilled fighter, A-level fighter.
Yes, you know, is because, you know, he talked about his money a lot. So he compared, like, I guess his fight with Pacquiao to Anthony Joshua. And he was saying, like, you know, basically, they didn't need 100,000 or 90,000 people to do X amount of dollars. You know, here, I'm going to let you listen to it. Here's what he had to say verbatim. Here's what
We welcome into SportsCenter the former #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, Floyd Mayweather. Floyd, welcome back. We've missed you, Floyd.
Hey, how you doing? I'm not no former #1 pound-for-pound fighter. I'm just saying I'm the best fighter in the sport of boxing. No one has dethroned me, so how am I not pound-for-pound the best fighter in the world? You tell me.
Because you retired?
But have I ever been beat?
But what happens is you informed Ring Magazine you were
once again,
retiring as welterweight champion.
I already forgot who I'm talking to. I'm talking to Brian Kenny.
Floyd said about Anthony Joshua, talk about that was in the Guinness Book of World Record for breaking all the records you didn't tell them of. Of course you have, and for generating what millions in the sport of boxing that who are having the fastest sellout crowd. I mean, you know, those guys done, you know. And I was watching a fight when I was at my Miami house. I was at my Miami home. I was watching a fight with Klitschko, and then the guy analysts view this as a sign of Floyd's jealousy, suggesting that he can't resist drawing comparisons between himself and others, especially when it comes to financial.
Top what I've done in 2 fights.
Well, one was with Oscar De La Hoya, who was the cash king.
I'm the cash cow, please.
Not compared to Oscar De La Hoya. Have you drawn as much as Oscar De La Hoya in pay-per-view,
man,
Floyd?
De La Hoya been on pay-per-view 1,000 times. It took me two times, 3.5 million homes. Me, Floyd Mayweather.
No, with Oscar De La Hoya, though.
Oscar De La Hoya didn't do nothing. Did he win?
It was a split decision loss, as a matter of fact.
Come on, man.
But it was with him.
Once again, like I said before, once again, we're talking to Brian Kenny, a man of many traits, a master of nothing.
Floyd, you waited over a year to come back. Why not wait one more weekend until Pacquiao and Hatton was over and we knew the winner?
I don't have to wait for nobody.
Success despite his accolades, though some analysts believe Floyd's true motivations are insecurity and jealousy of fighters like Joshua, whose appeal goes beyond financial figures. Mayweather's remarks come across as defensive attempts to reaffirm his status as boxing's top earner. His obsession with wealth and superiority has overshadowed the deeper, more meaningful aspects of his career, such as his actual contributions to the sport. And they said, this is exciting, kind of like the Pacquiao and Mayweather. And I responded, well, we didn't need all those hundreds of thousands to do a $74 million gate, so. And like I said before, but those guys put on a hell of a show. Okay, so there you have it, with Mayweather essentially saying, you know, I'm just on another planet and all this stuff. And you definitely know it because you've been around for years and you see the same thing over and over and over again.
As a fighter, you know, deep down inside, you know if you win or you lose. Did you know? I felt that I won. I felt that it can go either way, especially when Mayweather's father came straight at me and he goes, Oscar, you beat my son.
Wait, he told you right after the fight?
Oh, yeah. And funny story about that too, we had a rematch clause in our contract. This is something I negotiated as well. If he beats me, I get a rematch. It was a 1 year clause. Guess what he did? He retired for 1 year and 1 day.
Are you joking?
No. True story. Nobody knows this, but it's in the contract.
So how often did you guys try to get another thing going? It was always no, not interested. No, not interested.
Yeah, not interested. I'm retiring. I'm out of the sport. But sure enough, a day after that contract was over, he announces his unretirement.
Okay, the rivalry between A-level fighter Oscar De La Hoya and Floyd Mayweather dates back to their well-known 2007 match, which was a turning point in Mayweather's career as it earned him $4 million, his first huge payday, and established him as a pay-per-view celebrity. We welcome Floyd Mayweather, the former world #1 pound-for-pound fighter, back to SportsCenter. We've missed you, Floyd. Hey, how are you? I'm not a former #1 boxer, but I'm just saying that I'm the best fighter in the world. No one has ever defeated me. So how am I not the best fighter in the world? You tell me that's because you're retired. But have I ever been defeated? Ring Magazine. I've already forgotten who I'm speaking to. It's Brian Kenny. But Floyd's pride prevented him from giving De La Hoya credit for it. Even though Oscar was a moneymaker at the time, Floyd says that in previous interviews, he was always the one on the sidelines with the statement, I'm the best fighter in the sport of boxing.
Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. In the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that...
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
All right.
Boxing. How am I not pound for pound the best? Mayweather has vigorously defended his legacy. He brushes off detractors and past winners, even claiming that